created his 12-man offense, and it worked. Or at least Marvin Lewis threw a challenge flag with under 2 minutes remaining. He had 2 timeouts left, so the rule said if you throw a challenge with 2 minutes left, we'll still review it, but you have to get charged a timeout. So since he lost their timeout, they went and reviewed it. Tampa had 12 men on the field, which was a penalty that set up 3rd and long from out of field goal range. 2 plays later, they failed to fourth down, and the game was over. Unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah, but at least for the purpose of Garden State Sharks, the Bucks covered. I got the win there. You guys both picked the Bengals. Now the Bucks didn't win outright like I thought they would, although they should have. But I did say over 2.5 interceptions for Andy Dalton. And Andy Dalton threw 3 interceptions. CB, you thought I was crazy, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I wrote it down because of the information.
I'll have to edit that audio clip from last week and tweet that out so you can see that CB actually doubted me for once. Then we had.
I doubted you with the Giants losing, and I doubted you with the Bucks winning, but I did not doubt you with Andy Dalton.
Okay, I see that there. Jake, you'll like this one. Patriots +3 at your Packers. We all went Packers. All you had to say that it was at Lambeau. That's it basically. Packers covered and won 26-21. Anything to add, Mr. Cheesehead?
Great win for this team. They had me scared. Now they're on. Our defense was really impressive. 2 guys to really look for that haven't gotten enough credit. Sam Barrington has filled in very nicely for Brad Jones in the start of the season. And Devon House, who came in for Sam Shields after he was injured. House came in there, played very well for the second half, and our defense held up for us.
All right. A great win by the Packers. People were calling that the Super Bowl preview. I'm not sure about that yet. The Packers will definitely have a shot. I'm not sure about the Patriots. And then final game of last week, Broncos -1.5 at the Chiefs. I thought this was the perfect trap game. You did too, CB. But the Broncos, yeah, I thought the Broncos were going to fall into it. But they prevailed. Broncos covered the spread and won 29-16. So, to update you on the season standings, CB is still in dead last, 31-37. Snowball, 36-32. I am still number 1, 41-27. It's been a great season. I'd like to thank all teams involved, especially the Oakland Raiders, who I've picked to cover several times, and they've covered almost every time. So thank you, Derek Carr. Thank you, Oakland Raiders, for not quite winning, but just winning enough. So this week, Steelers +3.5 at the Cincinnati Bengals. Snowball again is not picking the Steelers. CB, you are. So what's with the sudden change of heart?
It's not a sudden change of heart. The Bengals are just not a very good team. I think the Steelers still have something with Le'Veon Bell, and he's been great all year. And I think Antonio Brown as well. I think this team is saying no to put up for the game. I think they will against the Bengals.
All right. And Jake, we'll get your pick on this one.
All right, yeah. So you get the sense of what I've done with the spread this year. I forgot to pick 1 week. Using ESPN's pick-em spread. 4 weeks I was on par with the national average. 4 weeks I was well below it, and 4 weeks I was above it. So I'm about average. This week I saw that it was Bengals -3.5. You guys have Bengals +3.5. Nonetheless, I have picked the Bengals in that game.
All right. So now we're moving on to Giants at Titans. This is an even line, 1 o'clock in Tennessee. CB, you and Snowball are going again with the Giants. It didn't work out too well for you guys last week. So why are you doing it?
I think the Titans are still a really bad team. I think the Giants are still trying to play for pride here. They're a much better team than the Titans. They were a much better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. I think they certainly want to put up a better effort than that. I think they have some sort of pride. I think Odell Beckham. I think Rashad Jennings has been playing well as well. Defense isn't great. The offensive line is banged up, but I think this team still has a lot of pride.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans, they gave the Steelers a run for their money. They played all right against the Eagles. I think they'll beat the Giants. The Giants blew a 21-point lead to the Jaguars. Now, we do have a caller coming in, and it's none other than Jacob Rosenstein on the line. What do you got for us, Jake?
Hey, Nick. So, I was hoping I could talk to you guys about the basketball. You know, the whole Knicks situation is really bothering me.
Well, I thought we were talking about the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. That's perfect. Now, let me tell you, we were up 21-0. And you know what really pissed me off? Larry Donnell had the ball. He fumbled it. Eli Manning gets sacked. He fumbles it. That's 3 fumbles in, the second half after a 21-0 halftime lead?
Yeah, the Giants are a joke right now. I hate to tell you.
Oh, I
Well, I have a
agree.
question for you.
But we also put 5 more of our guys on injured reserve this week.
Because they're hurt.
So, exactly. So let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have about 3 or 4 games left. 3 or 4 possible winnable games against the Titans, the Rams, the Redskins, and Eagles. I think we could beat the Titans, Rams, and Redskins, but I think we fall to the Eagles. So that gives us 3 wins. Now, I don't think that Tom Coughlin's job security is in any place right now. So I think it would be safe to tank the rest of the season and get a higher draft pick for next year.
All right, I don't see any problem with that. Jake Laker, what were you gonna say?
I just think the NFL is such a hard sport to tank it. It's pretty obvious that if you don't go out there 100%, you're really gonna get hurt. It's kind of like you go out there and kind of run half hard or something like that. You can really get hurt in the NFL if you set up some schemes that aren't really set up for complete success. You can really get someone hurt in the NFL. I don't think it's the best for tanking, but I can see your point that you really want to get a better draft.
Yeah, I also think the Giants really want to see what Eli Manning is made of because of how terrible he's been this year. Wouldn't you want to see if he's worth replacing with Ryan Nassib before the season ends? I think so. Now, do you guys how long do you think Eli Manning has, the way he's been playing this year?
Next season,
And then you put in Ryan Nassib?
I don't think Ryan Nassib is the long-term answer. I don't think he can become a franchise quarterback. Can be bottom 10 quarterback at best. I don't really see him being a franchise quarterback.
I'm looking with the Giants. I'm thinking maybe Bryce Petty or Brian Hoyer type. But Manning, you guys got one last season. He's got to turn it around. And I'm going to give that one last season to Coughlin as well. Just because of the way he beat New England in those 2 years. It's incredible. No one else could have done that.
Yeah. The thing is with Coughlin, every time they say they're going to fire him, he always turns on the switch and the Giants make the playoffs. This isn't happening.
Exactly.
That's not happening this year. I hate to say it. So I think they'll give him next season. Because that division is becoming less and less winnable. Because the Cowboys and Eagles are actually really good. So Coughlin would need to flick the switch much earlier next year to, turn that around. But I doubt he'll be employed with the New York Giants after next season. Now, he won't have trouble finding a job because I think he's a very good coach. But he will not be with the Giants after next season.
But he is the oldest coach in the NFL. Is someone really going to want to hire him for a long-term plan when he is a vet, given they don't know how much longer he's going to be because he wants to coach?
He's worth having for 1 or 2 seasons, I think. Because he is a good coach.
But I don't think he's worth having the Giants situation.
Well, it's for Trey Harbaugh. Do they bring the guy that beat him in 1 year?
That's true. I could see that.
Watch this. So,
because Coughlin can turn your team around and then set it up for another guy. What were you saying?
In our parallel universe, Hoyer is the quarterback for the Giants. Manziel's the quarterback for the Browns. Harbaugh is the coach of the Raiders, and Coughlin's the coach of the Niners.
That is crazy. So, did we get your pick for the Titans-Giants game, Jake?
You did not, but I remember the Titans, and I remember that they're a pretty competitive team. Look, the Giants aren't going to lose again, especially not against a team like Tennessee. You've got fantasy poison and you got like Delaney Walker. Shout out goes to anyone who, like me, has Delaney Walker in their fantasy team. The most frustrating ever. I'm going to pick the Giants in this game with very, very little confidence.
All right, I have the Titans. Call me crazy. I think they're better than people think. I mean, they're still terrible. Don't get me wrong, but they're better than people think. So then we have Ravens +3 at the Dolphins. I guess you guys know who I'm rooting for here, but we're all picking Dolphins. Myself, CB, and Snowball. Jake, any disagreement there?
Nope, I think Tannehill is actually quietly having a really great year. Miami has not been convincing in their recent wins, but after what the Ravens did against San Diego, I think they'll be too weak to rebound against a hungry Miami team.
All right, fair enough. Now Bucks +10 at Lions. For once, I am not picking the Bucks. All three of us are going Lions again. Jake, any disagreement? Even though it's +10.
Yes, I do have disagreement. I look at Tampa Bay. You will remember in 2010, this is eerily similar to what happened in Bay. The Packers not leading the division. They choked against the Buccaneers early in the year. They need Detroit to somehow lose a game, but there's no way they'll lose against a crappy Tampa team, right? Wrong. In Detroit, Tampa beat that. Detroit's winning this game, but by 10, they've struggled to win at home. They've found ways to win, but not by much.
Okay.
Tampa spread, Detroit spread.
Detroit has tried to lose a couple times, if my memory serves me correctly. But I think they'll get it done against the Bucks by 10. I think that's a decent pick. Now Bills +10 at Broncos. I'm going Bills here. So is CB. Snowball's going Broncos. What about you, Jake?
Difficult for me because you look at Buffalo and that is a top 5 passing defense. Denver still been shaky. They went into Kansas City against the top passing defense that performed well, but you know what? I've overlooked the Bills way too many times. Preseason, I said they'd go 3-13. They have proved me wrong. Fully twice, shame on me. Bills, I will give them the spread.
All right, and we have 2 more games for this week. Chiefs at Cardinals. That's an even line. I'm the only one going Cardinals here. CB and Snowball are taking the Chiefs. Jake?
Very tough. I've been a big supporter of the Cardinals early on, but after what we saw last week against Atlanta, that's just unacceptable. Consider now that Kansas City's coming off a loss and trying to stay in a playoff race, give it to the Chiefs, but again, not with much confidence.
All right, and CB, why are you picking the Chiefs?
I just think Arizona is not the thing they were a couple weeks ago. Drew Stanton's not been as good as they've had been before Carson Palmer got hurt the first time. And he's certainly not on the level of Carson Palmer. This team's defense has struggled a little bit recently as well. I think the Chiefs, Jamal Charles, is really good in the game.
Okay. And final game for this weekend. Seahawks +1 at Eagles. It's basically pick 'em. We're all going Seahawks. Jake Liker, Eagles, Seahawks. Who are you taking?
Tough. I'll have to go with Seattle. They've been really hitting their stride as of late. Stick with the momentum.
And this will put Dallas in a position to win the NFC East, which I am always a fan of. So, that's always good. Now, on to college football. We did have some title games today. So, yesterday, we had number 2 Oregon. Shout out to Carl Mogline. I still can't say the kid's name right.
Mogline's right.
Mogline. I got it. All right, shout out to Carl. Number 2, Oregon won the Pac-12 title over number 7, Arizona, 51-13. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the Arizona center just puking on the ball, but that pretty much summed up the game.
But he still snapped it. And
Yeah,
that is
props to
very
him.
commendable.
All the respect in the world for him, because he still snapped the ball. And even more respect for the quarterback who took it.
Although he's still probably threw it complete.
Yeah.
A new Solomon.
But still.
Hey, speaking of new, he's a freshman. He's got room for that.
All right. And is there any doubt in our minds that Marcus Mariota will win the Heisman?
Nope.
CB?
If Melvin Gordon goes for over 250 yards tonight, I'm giving it to Melvin Gordon.
250, that's a lot. We'll see.
It's not looking like that right now against us. 14-zip Wisconsin last time. And Ohio State. It's a very big difference. It is 14-0